promised you guys that I wasn't going to do that. But Shell has posted on our private Facebook page, which everybody can join if they want to, as long as they answer yes to three very simple questions. They're not hard, they're not challenging. I'll put an invite in here and you can go check it out, okay? So the question that was proposed to us is, and this actually happened to me, is how do you actually outline with a oval? How do you tape something that's oval so that you don't get cracks? And what I mean by that is if you think about this for just a second, if you take a piece of tape, all right, and you're not able to twist it, all right, you're gonna get angled lines. So when you paint something, okay, you're gonna see almost like slight, let me see if I can show you, like slight angles, all right? This is what I'm talking about. So if you don't use, just look at this, if you don't use the technique that I'm gonna show you right now, you're gonna get these kind of angles, all right? And when you get these angles, when you're doing a balloon, it's not gonna look right, all right? And it's gonna be angled. And you don't want that, especially on something that is circular, okay? So I've solved the problem, I think, okay? Now listen, it's really moist, it's very moist outside. It's been raining for the last 5 days here in Charlotte, in North Carolina. So it might be hard for the tape to actually adhere to the plastic, but you wanna make sure that your plastic is completely dry. And I also want you to make sure that you've outlined on your balloon the 1/2 inch from the edge, okay? Now, believe it or not, I was watching a video, a movie or a TV show this week about a guy who's a graphics guy for cars. And he was actually painting a gas can on a motorcycle. And have you ever seen like motorcycles that have like these really intricate, like almost like flames? You kind of ask yourself, how did they get that way? And it all hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm sure that if you were thinking the same thing that I was, that you're probably thinking the same way too. So, did that make any sense? I don't think it did. So, this is what I figured out. And I think it's gonna work. 90% sure it's gonna work, so I'm gonna share it with you, okay? So, in order to paint a balloon and not have any angles at all right, you're gonna need a thin line of tape, all right? Now, we all love frog tape. I'm actually gonna reach out to them and ask them to sponsor us. Oh, by the way, I am sorry that I didn't put up the video on how to make dog legs. I just completely forgot. That's bad. I'm sorry. I should have done that. All right? It's just been bananas. I say that a lot. But so what I want you to do is, when you buy frog tape, I want you to measure out the width of your frog tape. Because Jennifer got frog tape, and it's just like, it's 1 7/8 wide. So I know frog tape sells tape that's shorter, maybe even 1 inch. So this is like 1 inch and even 3/8, all right? So what I want you to do is, if you can buy frog tape that's 1 inch wide, you're gonna be better off here, just from a simple angle, or from a math perspective, all right? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to pull out a piece of tape, all right? This is what do you say, 1 3/8? All right. I want you to put it on a dry surface, all right? And I'm gonna angle the camera here. I won't do it with you. All right, so now we have this. I don't want you to push too hard on the tape down on the surface. Remember, it's moist out, so this isn't gonna be ideal, okay? But I want you to just gently put down the piece of frog tape, all right? Now remember, like we did with the balloon, now I'm getting detailed because I think it's a good idea to do, all right? I normally wouldn't Actually, that's not true. So we know that this piece of tape, it's basically 1.5 inches. All right. So what I want you to do is on this full line of tape, I want you to mark off 3/8. 1, 2, 3. So 3/8. Let me get a ruler out so you know what 3/8 is. All right, so this is a ruler. All right, we're going to start here. All right, so this is 1 inch. Okay, this is 1/8 or 1/4 inch. 3/8, 1/2 inch. 5/8, 3/4. 7/8, 1 inch. I'm not going to do the 16ths, but you understand it because we're not going to get in that level of detail. Okay, so when you measure on this piece of tape that you're actually going to cut, I want you to measure 3/8. That's the perfect size. Okay, so I want you to measure 3/8 on the entire piece of tape. Trust me when I tell you this. Did I do that right? 3/8. Okay, so now you have it all square. Now you have it all measured. All right. What are we going to take next, guys? 1, 2, 3. What is this? Carpenter square. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to line up all the lines that you just made that are 3/8 of an inch. Okay. And I want you to draw a line. All right. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your razor knife with the carpenter square already there, and I want you to very gently take your razor knife and I want you to cut it on a line all the way down, okay? And then save this piece because you're going to use it again, all right? Let's see if I can do it. Yes. Now very carefully pull this up. Now you see what happened? So I didn't cut this hard enough. So don't do it gently. You got to be a little bit more aggressive, okay? All right. So it didn't come up perfectly. Listen, if you're detail oriented, you want this to be perfect, all right? So that means that when you cut your next piece of tape, I want you to be hyper anal, okay? I want you to be complete gen mode. Hold on. All right, you with me? Is everybody following me? Okay, so now we have a thin piece of frog tape. What's the measurement of it? We know it's 3/8, okay? I want you to watch and see what happens when we tape off this balloon, okay? Okay, so starting on the outside edge, all right? I actually used Sharpie to mark this, okay? You're going to cover, that's not going to be covered with paint, so you probably want to use a pencil, but that's okay. So this is where the magic happens, okay? So with your piece of tape that's stretched out really long, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to put it right on the corner, right on the edge of the balloon, okay? Very gently, not very gently, put it down, okay? Now, do you see how my hand is moving back and forth? All right, because this piece of tape is shorter, what I'm able to do is I'm actually able to hug the corner based on how I'm actually moving this tape. All right, so I want you to, with your fingers, push down, and with your other hand, I want you to press and move. Okay, press and move, press and move, press and move. Okay, does that make sense? It's the pressing and the moving that is going to get your piece of tape to wrap around the oval. All right? So we'll continue to keep doing this way. All right? Now remember, you've already measured out your 1/2 inch. Okay? You see how that works? All right, now with this other piece, I'm just going to come over this edge right here. All right? With me? Everybody following me? So the magic is, hold on. So the magic that happens when you're taping an oval letter or actual balloon happens because you have a smaller piece of tape, okay, that's more flexible, and it won't, you won't create angles. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to video myself doing this. Now, with this example, right? Because remember, we have a 1/2 inch. And if you're going to be a perfectionist, right, you want to make sure you wrap it around the whole thing. I might even have to spray paint this just to show it to you. Okay. So we have our markings. You guys see our markings? All right. You want to lay your one piece of tape on one side, on the edge of the balloon, wrap it, okay? And then you're gonna come back again with another piece of tape, just a little bit more detail oriented than we like, and do it that way as well, all right? So I'm gonna video myself doing the whole thing. I'll get it better prepared with the pieces of tape, and then I'll come back to you.
Summer's gone, and December's here, and you're looking back at all the things you've done this year. And it's cold outside, say it's gonna snow, so be thankful that you've somewhere warm to go.
The other thing, so the thinner piece of tape that you go, the more of a better oval you're gonna get, all right? So here it is, okay? Now you'll notice up here, it's not a perfect circle, okay? But it's close enough. It's close enough that it's better than the other way of just using straight lines trying to get around the circle. So the thinner piece of tape you go, the more of a circle you're gonna get, the more of an oval, all right? So I'm gonna quickly spray this, and then I'm gonna come back and show it to you. All right, while that's drying, I wanna give you guys a little bonus feature. A little bonus content, because that's the kind of guy I am. So if you're struggling with cutting balloons or peas in an arching angle, and you're getting sort of like these kind of like frayed pieces, you know what I mean? Because it's not easy. You got to apply a lot of pressure, and it's not easy, you know. I mean, let's just call it kind of what it is. And if you're getting frustrated with things like this, you're not the only one. All right. So one of the things that I have in my Diego rescue pack, coming to the rescue. Rescue. That's bad. That's so bad. So here's the secret weapon. All right. So for any of those of you who know what an EMT is, they have a thing called EMT shears. Okay, I have some in my rescue pack because I'm weird like that. But if something happens where if somebody on an EMT ambulance needs to cut someone's shirt, these shears will do it. And you can get them on Amazon, and they're super cheap, okay? But let me tell you what you can do with these. Check this out. See that point? Now you're gonna have to, actually apply some pressure, right? But watch, as I'm cutting this, you can get around the edges of any frayed parts, right? Let's see if I can do it this way. can break through any edges, right? So you have something like that, just come over the top and angle it up. See how that worked? See how that worked? And we're just doing this with you right here. EMT squares. All right? Shears. Sorry, EMT shears. You should have them anyway. All right? This is what you want. Okay? Amazon, $10. If I had the link, I'll put it there, but these are the greatest scissors you can buy, and you can be aggressive with them, and they're wide enough, you get it. If EMTs use them, they're good enough for you. All right, we're finally done. So this is our Victory Store balloon. Now, it's not supposed to, but you see that right there? I taped that off with frog tape and it pulled off some of the ink. So just be careful next time, because you don't want that. All right. So now we have the balloon that you just saw me make. I think it's dry enough. Now remember when we did the video on how to spray paint letters and themes, and I told you not to get too close because you could get whatever extra paint doing drips? Do you guys see that? That's what happens when you get too close. All right, so here is Victory Store. All right, perfect lines, right? It's digitally printed, it's perfect, okay? We're using the new technique, all right? Oh, wow, came out nice, I think. You tell me, well. All right, so from a distance, like from a distance, are you going to be able to tell the difference? No. All right, now it's not a perfect science, because you'll notice up there I have an angle. Up there I have an angle, up there. So it's not perfect, but it's better than it was, okay? If nobody told you this is hard, it is. Look, and this is a perfect opportunity to consider vinyl. As a matter of fact, that's gonna be something that I wanna talk about too. But I think that this will be a better way if you take your time and you cut the tape thin enough where you could absolutely have a perfect curve, like $11.50 sign, okay? This is probably with spray paint, I don't know, $2, okay? So that's what we got. Yeah. I want it to be better. But look, it's a work in progress. It's not going to be perfect every time. And listen, you're going to make mistakes. It's how this works. So make them. You know what I mean? And get it out there. At first glance, people are not going to know, and you're going to be counting your money. All right? But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little taping tutorial, and I'm going to upload another one about what I'm planning to do with Patreon. Has anybody heard of hydro dipping? Stay tuned. We'll talk about it.